And what better man than you, Bjorn Ironside?
I'm Sadie Guinness, and I'm going to tell you what the will happen in the 6th and final season of Vikings. The History Channel show returns Wednesday, December 4th at 9/8 Central with a 2-hour premiere. Before we get into everything that's coming up this season, let me remind you where we left off. Ivar, who had taken Kattegat from Lagertha, finds himself in a situation where he has to now fight all of his brothers because Fitzurk had jumped ship after seeing how power had turned Ivar into like this ruthless tyrant who was also claiming to be a god. The fact that Ivar also burned Fitzurk's lover Thora was probably a sign that Fitzurk made the right decision in going back to Bjorn and Ubba. In addition to Fitzurk, Bjorn also recruited a ton of Ivar's former allies to join his side, including King Harald and King Olaf. But the fact that Harald and Bjorn were now allies does not mean that they trusted each other or got along at all. Harald still wanted to be king of all Norway, plus Bjorn married Gunhild, whom Harald had been planning to marry. You know, like the man just took the woman that you were like...
He didn't take her, she chose Bjorn.
Yes, she was very into Bjorn. They had that weird-ass sex scene.
And I want to ride wild horses.
Although their first attack on Kattegat was a major failure that cost Magnus his life, R.I.P. I guess, Bjorn's army got a huge break when Ivar's wife Freydis snuck them into Kattegat, securing their victory. And Freydis did this because Ivar murdered their son and was a monster. Upon discovering Freydis' betrayal, Ivar strangled his wife to death before sneaking out of Kattegat and admitting defeat. Bjorn was named King of Kattegat, and Lagertha returned home just in time to see this historic moment. The finale ended with an ominous vision between the seer and Bjorn, where the seer warned Bjorn that winning the crown was just the beginning of his problems.
The war is not over.
Season 6 will immediately dig into the challenges Bjorn faces trying to be a different, kinder ruler, as he's faced with very tough choices right at the start of his reign.
I am but your humble servant.
And the consequences of these decisions are going to be far-reaching and very unpredictable. The Season 6 trailer makes this quite clear when we see Bjorn exiling Whitehair, one of Ivar's bodyguards, rather than executing him. We then see Whitehair attacking Lagertha at like the peaceful farmland retirement community she set up, putting Lagertha and all of the settlers there in huge danger. But while Bjorn may not always make the right decisions as king in the eyes of some people, he will find himself on the precipice of even greater power when Olaf puts forward this idea to unite all the Vikings under one king of Norway, specifically Bjorn. However, as any good historian or someone with Wikipedia knows, the real first king of Norway was actually Harald Finehair.
I know.
Not good for Bjorn. The show does take tons of liberties with history, but the fact that Harald is shown wearing a crown in multiple instances in the Season 6 trailer leads me to assume that, like, yes, Harald, at least at one point in this season, is gonna be named king. I can't imagine Bjorn would handle, like, Harald potentially having power over him too well.
I don't understand.
But these two are gonna have to put aside their personal differences and unite against a far greater threat, Ivar and all of his new friends. Now that Ivar lost his kingdom and most of his followers, he has nothing but time to plot his revenge, and he's gonna do this with the help of a ruthless new ally, the Rus Prince Oleg, played by Danila Kozlovsky. When Ivar arrives in Rus, he is taken in by Oleg, who proves to be so merciless that even Ivar is taken back. Compared to Oleg, Ivar is not gonna be, for the first time in a long time, like the worst dude in Vikings. But that still isn't gonna stop Ivar from teaming up with him to invade Scandinavia and get revenge on all of his brothers. In case you're wondering, Oleg was a real person, although he never invaded Norway to minor Wikipedia's knowledge. But there are a lot of interesting facts about the real Oleg that will likely influence his character this season. According to the internet, when some people tried to poison the real Oleg, he somehow knew not to drink the poisoned wine, and that earned him the nickname Oleg the Prophet. I'm gonna guess he just had a f***ing informant or something. But the way more interesting prophecy is the prophecy surrounding his death. Oleg was told that he was gonna die by his horse, and so he sent his horse away, and years later, found out his horse had finally died and went to go look at its bones to probably smugly be like, I defeated fate. But then when his boot touched the horse's skeleton, a poisonous snake slithered out, bit him, and he died, fulfilling the prophecy. Isn't that great? Michael Hurst loves to sort of pay homage to historical figures like actual deaths, even if it doesn't necessarily predict exactly how they'll die, but this season, I'm definitely gonna be looking out for horses and snakes. Such a weird way to die. Ivar is gonna meet a few other interesting characters while in Rus. In addition to Oleg, Ivar is gonna meet Prince Igor, the true heir to the throne, whom Oleg was entrusted to take care of until he comes of age. Hurst previously told me that season 6 will find Ivar having to become responsible for someone else. I'm gonna guess that this person Hurst was referring to is Igor, and that maybe this experience of taking care of a child will help Ivar work through all of his guilt at killing his own son. And speaking of people Ivar killed, Alicia Agneson, who played Freydis, will be returning to season 6 in a completely new role. As the first promo for season 6 revealed, Agneson is going to be playing a Roos woman who has like dark brown hair. Freydis was blonde. Totally different people, right? Given Ivar's love of Freydis and the fact that he recently killed her, seeing the spitting image of his ex in Roos, it's gonna be a mind f***. I don't like seeing my exes now, let alone like a doppelganger of an ex that I murdered. With Ivar going through this season of like self-growth and maybe even introspection, it could potentially threaten his alliance with someone as brutal as Oleg. Clearly, these two managed to stand by each other long enough to fulfill their plan of attacking Scandinavia, because the season 6 trailer shows the Roos army storming the beach and just slaughtering the Vikings. Unfortunately, we are definitely going to lose so many characters over the course of Vikings' final season, but the only characters whose death we know is without a doubt coming is Lagertha's.
Will the sons of Ragnar kill me?
In season 4, the seer told Lagertha that one of Ragnar's sons was destined to kill her. Who's it gonna be? Bjorn, Ubbe, Ivar, or Fitzurk? Fifth one's already dead. But there is absolutely no way Bjorn is gonna kill his mother unless it's like a mercy kill situation, doing it just to like end her suffering. That would be the most devastating way for this prophecy to play out, but I can't see it being Bjorn. I don't think it's gonna be Ubbe either. Although Lagertha killed his mom, they've really worked past that, and Ubbe's married to Torvi, who loves Lagertha like a mother, and I can't see him betraying Bjorn, Lagertha, or Torvi. That leaves Fitzurk and Ivar, both of whom are prime suspects.
You don't know what you're saying.
We know there is nothing more Ivar wants in this entire universe than to kill Lagertha, and Fitzurk has been on this quest for his identity for years now, making him the biggest wild card of all of Ragnar's sons. Precisely because Ivar wants it so badly, it makes me think it's not gonna be him, which leaves Fitzurk as the really last remaining option. But then I have no clue why he would do that. He had recently just jumped ship to fight for Bjorn and besides Lagertha. But I don't know, Fitzurk is crazy. What am I saying here? I would describe Fitzurk as unmoored. He is untethered. He's so unpredictable, which really makes him a great candidate for this. Or maybe Ivar just kills her, and it's the most obvious answer. As much as I hate to think of anyone killing Lagertha, the only thing I really hope for is that she gets a death worthy of her, a hero's death, and that afterwards, her legacy is remembered the way Ragnar's is, and people fight for her and just destroy her murderer. There are still a ton of burning questions that Vikings 6th season needs to answer, the first of which, is Floki alive? The last time we saw Floki, he was on Iceland, abandoning his settlement after everyone murdered each other, and he had thought he was going into the gates of hell to see the gods, but instead he found a Christian cross and chalice and was so devastated. And then a volcano erupted and trapped him inside this cave, seemingly to die. Gustaf Skarsgård seemingly spoiled Floki's fate in an Instagram post he shared this fall, writing, "Floki might not have made it out of the cave, but I'm as excited as the rest of you to follow the fates of all the other characters." It definitely sounds like Floki is dead, or is this a red herring and Floki found a way to survive in this cave? I don't know, but what I do know is that Ubbe is planning to go to Iceland this season and get answers about where the hell Floki has been. I'm hoping that whatever answers Ubbe finds, it at least leads to one last cameo from Skarsgård, even if it's just a vision of Floki in Valhalla reunited with Helga. What the hell is going on with Fitzurk? Last season, Fitzurk said he finally figured out his purpose and it was to kill Ivar, but clearly that did not happen in the attacks on Kattegat. So what is he doing now? The promos for season 6 seem purposely opaque on this point, other than a very brief shot of Fitzurk not looking too well, and then another shot of him burning on a stake. We really have no evidence of what he's getting up to this season. Could all of this mystery surrounding what Fitzurk is doing this season be because any little glimpse of it would be a massive spoiler? AKA maybe he goes to Roos, whether to rejoin Ivar or just get close enough to his brother to kill him. At one point in the trailer, Ivar is shown speaking to an unknown figure saying that they're gonna go get revenge on their brothers, And a photo online shows Marco wearing like Roose clothing with Alex. I think he's gonna get there eventually, but I have no clue what his intentions are in going to Roose. Will Ragnar make a cameo in Vikings' final season? Honestly, probably not. Let me now read 400 words I wrote. A character being dead has never stopped Michael Hurst from finding a way to bring them back. However, after Ragnar's death in season 4, Travis said that it wouldn't make sense for Ragnar to come back as a ghost or anything like that because he was an atheist. That being said, a lot can change over the years, and maybe Michael Hurst found some creative way to bring Ragnar back as a vision, a flashback, maybe just voiceover, and Travis will have agreed to return. One thing that may point to Travis having changed his mind is an Instagram photo a fan took with him in August 2018. Only a few days after this same fan took a bunch of photos of Vikings filming, seemingly somewhere nearby. Of course, this could all be a total coincidence, or maybe Travis just was in the area because he wanted to stop by the set and say hi to all of his former co-stars. But for now, let's just say Travis is gonna return because we want it to happen, I want it to happen, and let's try and secret this into existence. Do you want Ragnar to return? And who do you think is gonna kill Lagertha? Let us know in the comments below, and please check out more of our What the videos in the playlist.